A really good divorce lawyer can help protect your rights in a divorce or a custody situation by acting like your quarterback and your champion. And not everybody does it like this, but what you need is someone you can really trust to guide and shepherd you through the process. Because look, y'all, it's complicated, it's hard, there's a lot to it. And even for lawyers who literally do this every day, something comes up new that we didn't know, some rule, some court wants us to do something we didn't anticipate, and it's a lot to navigate on your own. And so what they can do ultimately is help get you through the process in a way that fits your communication style, fits what you need. Like some people really want an encourager, like you got this, you can do this, who listens to all of the emotional things going on. Other people want somebody who's like, just send me the spreadsheet. How am I going to save some money? So finding that fit and finding that team that can help guide you through the process is, I think, the number one thing a lawyer can do for you. I mean, ultimately they can get you divorced, but like you could probably figure out how to do that on your own eventually. But like the coaching part is really can't be replaced, I think. A lawyer can also take really complex situations and break those down for you in a way that is digestible and you can understand. And what I mean, it's not like because you're dumb or something. This is just not what you do in your daily job. And there's things that truly don't work the way that you would think they would work. I think, for instance, one of those things is bonuses at work. And if, like, let's say you're in 2025 trying to get divorced, but there's a 2024 bonus that would get paid like in Q2, let's say in April. Okay. And so a lot of people thinking who are trying to get divorced in early 2025, well, that bonus hasn't been paid yet. That's not my money. That's not going to be part of the divorce if we hurry and get this done. Au contraire, that's not how it works. If the bonus that pays in 2025 was as a result of the work you did in 2024, that would be subject to division in Texas cases, probably in his community property, because you were entitled to the thing based on what you did in 2024, even if you don't receive it in 2025. So a lawyer may advise you to agree to an if, as, and when, so securing that asset. So like, let's say your divorce is almost done in February. And you only get that bonus in April if you're still work there. But like, what if you get laid off? So a lawyer can help you think about, hey, don't just agree to give half of the bonus in the divorce settlement. Let's say like, once that money's in my hand, if, as, and when I get it, then I'll give you half. Like, would you think about that part? I mean, and Lord, if you have anything about stocks or anything you own prior to the marriage or any business, like you get into deep waters real thick there that sometimes I'm scratching my head, and I've been doing this a minute at this point. So a lawyer can help you walk through that stuff, and more than anything, help you see that what you think might happen may not actually be the way that it works. And there may be some things you're not even thinking of. When getting divorced, a lawyer can advocate for you to get a fair settlement at the end of the day in a way that you probably can't for yourself. And I think they're able to do this because they're aware, or should be, of how the law works, how courts in your jurisdiction, like where you live, might treat certain issues, and help you understand, like, look, we can make this deal at mediation. Because if we went to court, it's going to go like this. So they can point out to you the gap between what you can get here and what you can get there. And otherwise, if you don't have someone giving you that objective counsel based on their experience, you may just be at mediation saying, wait a minute, but I really, really, really want 70% of everything because he cheated on me. Well, I know you really, really, really want that. And if you don't have somebody helping talk you through getting reasonable, you may die on that hill and find yourself at the final trial getting a lot less money, when a lawyer might say to you, okay, look, I understand, and that's really hurtful, and walk you through it. But generally speaking, courts are not going to give you 70% of the stuff because he had a one-night stand. All right. Now, maybe depending on where you are, it could be a few percentage points, but they can give you that counsel based on their experience and their objectivity that if you're doing it on your own, you're not going to have. Like, even lawyers don't represent themselves in divorces for the most part. There's that old saying, like, you can represent yourself in a lawsuit as a lawyer, but then you'll have a fool for a client. So I'm a lawyer I know about law things, I know about family law things, and I wouldn't represent myself in my own divorce. So I really recommend that you don't do that. Y'all ever heard that phrase, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure? That's what you're doing when you pay a good lawyer to write up a good final decree or order in your custody situation. Paying that money on the front end to get this done really carefully, clearly, and specifically can save you a fortune in future fees and lost assets. And here's why. Whenever a court later, like say something happens and you need to enforce what's in your decree and in your order, and a court goes to look at what's written, it has to be clear, specific, and unambiguous for the court to enforce it. And if you write it yourself, do you think you know how to write clear, specific, unambiguous language about liens and deeds and stock grants and visitation schedules with every single T crossed and every I dotted? I mean, probably you don't, just because that's not your job. So if you don't have the lawyer do it on the front end, number one, you can't enforce it, but you're going to spend a bunch of money figuring that part out. And then the other thing is, you may not even be able to get the thing you thought you agreed to in the divorce. Like you may have said, I want to have half of the house. But what if you don't put the a whole legal description and the address and all of that stuff in there and y'all owned two? The court's like, well, you didn't say which house. That could happen to you. So spending the money on the front end to get this really comprehensive, there is not a more important document you've signed in your life, except maybe citizenship papers or something, than this divorce decree. It talks about your kids, your money, your business, your assets, your debts, and you're gonna do that yourself. I would not even try to fix my leaky faucet myself. I don't know how to do that. So I'm definitely not gonna write up a 50-page document that deals with everything in my life. I wouldn't even do it for my own self. I would have somebody else do it. It's really complicated, and you need them to do it on the front end and save you a world of hurt and money on the back end.